I can confidently say Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock Lesnar's kind of old. Is something wrong?
No.
Why'd you
I was
look
just
back?
looking at anything.
Am
else
I not
besides-
interesting?
No, yeah, I was trying to find anything else besides what's going on.
Okay. I want to remind you asked me this question, so don't act like you're bored of it.
I thought our noise canceling pads were falling off. Brock Lesnar.
You do not think that you want to listen to what I said.
No,
don't
look,
bullcrap me.
look,
Like it's-
there's a space.
yeah, but that you couldn't see that after your peripherals. You just
I
looked at
heard
it
I heard it.
with headphones on. You know what? I'm done with you. Okay, we're just gonna keep. I love that they added the Obanai and Sanami fighting because we finally get to. I think we've seen every Hosh. Oh, Guillaume, we haven't seen him fight yet, and he's the only one left now. But no, I'm gonna talk like this.
You, please. Thank you. We can cut it out. I just for my own sake of editing this audio, I'm gonna kill you.
You lit yourself on fire,
On accident. I don't know if there's
dude. I've known you for 5 years now. We've been
No,
best
okay.
friends for 5 years, and every time you tell me about something in high school, it's always something new about you. Like
So-
I'm like, who the freak are you? Because I thought you were the most mild mannered person, and then
I
you tell me about
was.
how life was in high school.
So a few times I lit myself on fire. It's several. But usually it was just doing something like dumb, like trying to like stomp out a fire and it like
A little messed up, but I when Pokemon Go first came out. No, this has something to do with what we're talking about. So I came out. I was my senior year of high school
okay.
because you were on your mission when
Yes.
you know, right? So it was like I don't know if you could tell, but like it was like the closest to world peace I've ever seen.
Oh.
Everyone was outside
I could
interacting
tell.
with each other, walking around.
I could tell because when you're a religious missionary, like people hate you.
Yeah.
But if you walk up to a group of people and be like, "Yo, there's a Charizard," ever like, man.
point him to the church.
Yeah.
There's a Charizard in there on Sunday.
I mean, sometimes there was.
there's a Charizard in there Sunday at 12. They just-
But closest we got to world peace. Also, everyone exercising.
yeah, everyone was outside at the parks. So I'm going around, and this dude comes up to me. He goes, "Like, did you see the Pikachu over there?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't see it yet." He was like, "Yeah." Anyways, I'm with the military, man. He's just, like, trying to-
No, he didn't.
dude. I was like, man, that's so smart. Fast forward, I'm going to work at Firehouse Subs where I worked. Welcome to Firehouse. And I was parked in the back parking lot where employees usually park, and I'm trying to walk to work, and all of a sudden, same dude stops me. And he starts talking to me again. He goes, "Do I know you?" I'm like, "Yeah, you actually stopped me a few months ago when I was trying to play Pokemon Go." He goes,
Yeah.
"Are you interested now?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." Every time I'm crossing the street, or if I'm on the road in general, I have this thought that comes to my mind. I'm like, I need to get across the street as fast as I can, because what if the Flash is running right now? or a car, or something equivalent to the Flash.
Well, a car would make. Well, even a car wouldn't make sense because you can see, right? Are you not looking both ways?
Oh, I am. But that's what I'm saying. What if it's like like that fast? And I need to get there fast just in case the Flash is just instantaneously like on his way to fight crime.
Isn't that like the first episode of The Boys?
Yeah. That's not where I got this from. I thought this ever since I was a kid. Like, I gotta go. But like another scenario where this happens is not quite the Flash.
Wait, the car wasn't the other scenario?
No.
Okay.
It's something fast. Something fast if I don't cross the street in time. I hope I don't like anyone who's watching this or listening to this. I hope like next time you cross the street you don't think about this like I've been thinking about it. But like
A mind virus.
yeah, I hope I don't infect you with my mind virus.
So here's the thing. Is it just whenever people argue to me about the reasons why 100 guys could kill a gorilla, it just shows to me both the hubris and the stupidity of like people as a group. Because the things they talk about, they just talk about like what humans can do and like the human spirit and stuff, which is all things I believe in.
Right.
But I'm like, I just don't think it applies here. But unfortunately, because generally, my opinion, for anything, I base it on history and stuff like that. So I've been looking at a history of guerrilla attacks, and unfortunately, I gotta throw in the towel and admit that probably 100 guys, if they knew what was happening, could defeat a gorilla. One of us needs to go in it, and I was the one that went in, and I was looking around trying to find if there's anything. Unbeknownst to me, the other three let go of the metal plate. Now, luckily, it did not hit me because it probably would have killed me. But when it fell back down, the noise was so loud and it reverberated so much in the concrete box that I couldn't hear anything for the next 15 minutes.
Dude, that's...
And because I couldn't hear anything, I didn't hear them leaving me.
guys!
So then PE ends.
And no one
And they're like, where's Parker? Little did they know I was in my own personal bunker.
Dude, this is the second story since season 2 that you've like people have abandoned you. There was one is your cross country story where you passed out behind the bush,
Oh, yeah.
and then the second is this concrete thing where people abandoned
Well, that
you.
one,
Also, last week you got abandoned by your trip leaders on this abandoned island.
okay. Well, that one had to happen.
It did not.
The
didn't
cross
have to
country
happen.
one, I understand why, because there's a lot of kids. I'm sure I just was, you can't keep track of that many kids. This one, pretty unforgivable. Dare I say, purposely done. Which I think what they assumed was that, oh, this is heavy, we'll just let it go, and they didn't realize how. And heck, maybe they thought I was dead, but because I didn't say anything, and they were like, he probably can lift it by himself, but it took 4 of us. I couldn't do it, so I was just
that's crazy.
I was just kind of there for.
But the fun part is, since this is still a newer podcast, like it's just like close friends,
no one's
close
listening to
listeners.
this right now.
No, people are listening, but like our fresh listeners are like close friends, so we can make mistakes.
Yeah,
And it's
everybody
okay.
makes mistakes.
Everyone has those days.
Nobody's perfect.
I don't actually know
I
that
gotta
song.
work it. I don't know the rest after that. I just know the chorus.
I don't know the song. I just know you're supposed to.
Do you know who
that
sings
line.
it?
Nope. Is it Kesha?
You're kind of on the right track. I'll give you 2 more guesses.
Kesha is the right track. Lady Gaga. Is
A little
that
further.
colder? Okay.
I'll give you one more guess, and I will give you a hint.
Hannah Montana.
Oh my gosh, nice!
Really?
Wait, what? I didn't think you were gonna get it. Honestly, Parker, I had zero faith.
Was it Hannah Montana or
Yeah,
was it Miley
Hannah
Cyrus?
Montana.
Oh, it's Hannah Montana?
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
got it
gosh.
spot on.
But I had a bicycle with no brakes. So if you were in that situation, what would you do if you had a
Bail.
bicycle? Bail. That's a good idea. Not get a new bicycle.
Oh wait, so sorry. So if I had one, I thought you meant if I was on the bike already.
Oh, no. I mean, like in general, if you only had
I
a
just want
bicycle.
to ride a bike. I'm too old to ride bikes.
No, right. Okay, that's not what I did.
Okay.
I didn't even do what you did, where I just bail off. I would just drive. I'd just be pedaling on my bike, and let's say I was going down a hill and there's a busy intersection. What would I do? I would look and see a telephone pole or a power pole, run into it every time. It's that or run into a car.
I mean,
I did that for
I don't
months.
know. I don't know what. First of all, why did you have a bike with brakes?
I don't know if you noticed that I would do this when we were roommates. But when I ate chicken, when I prepared chicken for myself, I'm concerned with making sure there was no pink, because I didn't want to get.
Oh,
like,
I
food
get
poisoning.
that. No,
Yeah.
I totally get that. Chicken's tough.
Yeah, chicken's tough, and I also just do that. I myself didn't have the knowledge or skills to do it properly, so I would boil my chicken every time.
No.
It was just completely boiled, rip it apart, so I made sure every part is cooked.
Did you season the water?
No,
So it's just a raw chicken.
this is raw chicken,
regular water.
and frozen chicken in regular water, usually freezer burnt. And then I put salt and pepper on it. If I was feeling zesty, actually no, I had to put hot sauce on it every time just to choke it down because it was disgusting. That's my secret. The food I prepared for myself in college was always disgusting.
But you could have made it better.
That's
We had
why-
a roommate who was a chef. Shout out Luke.
But I would put hot sauce. I would drown it in hot sauce every time so I couldn't taste it. That's my secret everywhere.
There, want to know something weird? On my mission in Idaho, we were visiting this dude, and he had like a coin. He's like, "Oh, it's from Burning Man." On one side of the coin, it showed like a silhouette of like a girl, but she had like a tail and stuff. So the other side was a butt plug with said tail. Like that was the theme of Burning Man that year, and I was like,
What's the theme with that? Butt plugs?
Hey,
Whatever.
use your imagination. We got to go to Burning Man. You want to go to Burning Man? I got the tail already. I'm kidding. But no, I was like, cool, dude. Why do you have this? Is there like a food combination that you eat that people find weird?
Oh,
Because for me, a Pop-Tart, and then I put some butter on it. Don't look at me like that.
No, because it was funny. I was gonna, man.
Did you have other ones?
No, I was gonna. You were talking about toaster strudels and Pop Tarts? It's like I should bring up how sick, nasty people put butter on their Pop. Because I've never thought that. Because Family Guy did like a song about it. It's like I never thought that people actually do
Dude,
that.
let me tell you something. A strawberry Pop-Tart, right as soon as it gets out of the toaster, you put a little bit. You don't put a lot. You don't put a lot. You put a little bit of butter on it, especially around the edges. It toasts it a little bit more. The saltiness of the butter and the sweetness of the Pop-Tart, dude, it is like, it's game. Have you tried it? Like, I always imagine if we went to Rome, at its peak, with one machine gun, do you think you could like rule Rome with one machine gun? I think you could.
You'd have to be, if you hid the machine gun. Okay, here's the only way it would work, in my opinion. You'd have to hide the machine. You'd have to hide the machine gun, and make them think you're like Jupiter. So you'd be like, you displease me, and then like have someone else or somehow like jerry rig it up. So like
I think, especially like fear is a powerful weapon. I think if you go in there and your goal is to take over Rome, you take out a few people with the machine gun. People don't know how to handle it. And then even if you run out of bullets, they don't know what a bullet is. They don't know that you're out of it. They don't know how to reload it. So you can just point the machine gun and be like, what?
I don't think that would work. Because think when Let
me ask you this. If I had a gun right now, and then I shot a couple people around us, and then I pointed the gun at you, and you don't know whether or not there's bullets in the gun, would you be scared? And would you listen to what I'm about to tell you?
Let me counteract your argument with a historical argument.
Okay.
Japan.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I maybe actually no, that already fell apart. Because I was about to say like
Jared 1, Parker 0.
No, this will work. So Japan, they did have guns.
Well, that's so unfortunate. I can't stop pop-ups from going on there.
You said that it was working this time.
Well, no, the display won't turn off, and now it's showing Microsoft Teams.
Oh no, now they know your personal Gmail. You're gonna have to cut that out.
Just from a job that used Microsoft Teams. This is embarrassing.
Well, now they know your last name.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Japan, isolated from the...
You're still on this?
Yeah, Japan was isolated from the rest of the world. This whole like Star Trek-y thing where they're like in space for like a season.
Speaking of which, real quick, my second favorite Power Rangers season is Power Rangers in Space. Continue.
Isn't there like...
There's a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Like there's more than I know. Let's say an Amish person comes up to you. It's like, hey, I'm on Rumspringa right now. Rumspring break. And
what's the one thing I would show them?
Yeah, what's the thing you show them, take them to do, and it's something that you like the first food that you give them.
I would have them watch anime.
Nice. Which one?
Probably Demon Slayer.
You just like Clockwork
Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer is so mid, but
it's a good introductory
it's a great introductory one, and just to watch their face like go like with all the colors.
You just have like their eyes like Clockwork Orange style is like forced open. You're like, look at the flames.
Literally,
it's in his mind. It's not
Attack
real.
on Titan, where like the time frame is similar to how they live now. Like,
oh, that's
it's like close to it. Can you imagine just Attack on Titan? Like, hey, this could really happen to you. By the way,
this is what I think would happen. Have you seen about those North Korean soldiers that were in Russia that got addicted to porn?
No, what the?
Yeah.
What happened?
So North Korea sent Russia was it 10,000 troops?
Around that.
So
a lot.
And so in North Korea they don't have access to the internet or anything. Well, it's controlled.
Right.
They all got addicted to porn. All of them.
There's also this happened recently where Elon Musk's Starlink got internet access to this tribe in the Amazon for the first time. Same like almost immediately they all got addicted to porn.
Wow.
So anyway, Amish person addicted to anime.
I was like, you're gonna show them porn? Like, jeez. It's funny how like for most people, like death scares us, and there are moments like that where you're kind of like random times where you just accept death.
Yeah.
For example, when I cross the street, there are moments when I'm like, if the Flash comes and hits me, I'm accepted that fate. I'm not even trying to be funny.
And so this counselor asks me, Parker, what do you want to do with your life? I sit back, I think about it for a second, and I say, I probably want to be like a weapon developer or an arms dealer, like Tony Stark. I'm about to go into high school. I was like, I think it's a little too late to be thinking about stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, whatever.
that explains a lot.
That does explain that.
I do. Like, I've said this before. I'll say it again. I feel like you were one heartbreak away from being a supervillain. I think Lindsay saved you from being a supervillain.
That's true. Well, but the other issue though was like I wasn't, because he's a smart guy. Like he goes to, I think he went to MIT and stuff. Tony Stark. He
Something
builds
like that.
stuff in caves. Like I had taken a few robotics classes at that point.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Can I do a 24-ounce My Jam and a 24-ounce? Is it Castaway?
Yeah.
Castaway.
Can you provide that for Castaway? Anything else?
Nope, that'll be it.
$7.95.
Thank you.
Here's these.
Thank you.
That'll be right out.
Appreciate it. That's pretty smooth, huh? That's pretty. I ordered like a champ there. I knew exactly what I'm doing.
You didn't stutter like I do every
Yeah.
time.
Uh,
I've driven away from if I've
do you
stuttered
think she
too
noticed
much.
the camera?
No, I don't think.
I don't
it's
think they
the
noticed.
angle. I've like messed up an order so much that I've just driven away. Right.
No,
in
you
front of
haven't.
them. I
You
have.
did not.
I stuttered 3 times in a row. And I said, "Have a good day," and I drove off. And I went to a different McDonald's 30 minutes north.
Emily. Actually, I shouldn't share the story because I know this person. Never mind. Yeah, Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. Very underrated movie for sure.
Yeah. Hey, we might have our first guest in a second.
Oh, I thought he was upstairs.
Whatever.
My cat's here. Winston, come here. We'll
We could edit it out of you.
No. We can
We could put the emoji over his face, like.
so we can protect him here.
like
I'll show the
Tony
camera.
Tatum.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
This is Winston, my cat. He's usually not supposed to be down here. Winston, say something.
Hi, Winston.
He's
I
a
d-
big boy.
I usually don't like cats, but Winston's a very
Yeah, he's a good boy.
polite person.
All right, so I'm gonna run upstairs real quick with him and okay, let him out. Okay. How do you
I don't know
that?
if we said this on the podcast, but did I tell you the time when I was just out of high school? I had just graduated like a couple of days before, and a military recruiter called me, as is tradition.
I feel like I know where this is going. Go ahead.
As he calls me, he's like, "Hey, is this the phone number of Parker Williams?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." And then he proceeded to ask me if I wanted to join the military. And I kid you not, I was kind of like interested because like several generations in a row have served in the military in my family.
Right.
Like that one family from Forrest Gump. So I was like, I'm not opposed to the idea. But I was so stuttery and so awkward and kept pausing that he hung up on me. Do you know how crazy that is? They were relentless, and he was like, "I would rather like."
You're not even good enough to fight on the front lines.
Yeah, I was like, I'd rather get my easy to get quota somewhere else.
Yeah.
So when World War III happens,
You're safe.
I'm safe.
You're safe. Maybe that's what I should do next time they try to draft me. Just start stuttering. I'm useless at on war.
I just think it's funny that like during the Vietnam War and stuff, they would send people to hunt down guys like draft dodgers and stuff. Cut to several decades later, it was like, well, you see, my dad. Nope. I wonder if he thought I was like messing with him.
Oh,
It's like I'm not that clever.
that's even worse. He's like, look, man, I have a duty to this country right now. And I have to recruit the top
no.
soldiers. He's like, I don't have time to mess with you. You're a disgraceful country. I've been getting a lot of comments though. Well, ever since we started this segment in particular, of people thinking that I smoke weed. And one comment in particular, this guy accused me. He's like, hey, you don't have to drink the bong water, the water that's inside the bong. And I have to explain to everyone, these are all sober thoughts. Me and Parker have never smoked before. And it's made me wonder what would happen if we did. So I have here. No, I'm kidding. But so Emily, my wife, came up with a good idea. So for today's segment, instead of calling it things that I think about a lot, but have a hard time explaining why, we're going to call it Drinking from the bong water with Jared. That's today's segment. That's what we're calling it today.
I thought you were going to call it sobering thoughts.
That's another good idea. Brady, okay. I'm going to start over.
No, because you're what? We'll put that in for next.
No, this is what we'll do. I'm going to
Okay.
say it again. I'm not going to go all the way back. And then I'm going to say, instead of saying drinking from the bong water with Jared, I'm going to say sobering thoughts with Jared. And then we'll use both, and we'll workshop it, focus group it, see what the people think, bring back the data, reevaluate, and then we'll proceed forward. Okay? Business students. All right. So instead of calling it things I think about a lot, but I have a hard time explaining why, we're going to call it Sobering Thoughts with Jared. And then Brady's going to put it right here. I keep saying the editors are going to put it right here. Has never done it. They have never done it. Anyways, I think part of me would have a hard time if it was like Katniss and Peeta at the end, if that was us. Like, I would have a hard time killing the other person from my district.
I don't think I would.
Wow, okay. You just said I would have a hard time.
Well, no, I'm not saying I'd have a hard time out of morality. I'd have a hard time out of skills.
Oh,
But
okay.
if they gave me an opportunity, I'd be like, it's the Hunger Games.
Speaking of like time, one thing I think about a lot is that the biggest obstacle for time travel that people don't really think about is that Earth moves through space. And so not only would you need to go back in time, you would also need to go back through space from where the Earth was like 100 years ago, like where it was in space 100 years ago. Because if I were to go back in time 100 years from where I am right now, I'd be floating in space right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't think I'd thought of that before, though.
Yeah, I got the idea from Big Bang Theory where it was talking about like if they were to go back in time, they'd go back to like the Revolutionary War, but they're in Pasadena. He's like, well, you wouldn't be on the east side, you'd just be in 1776 of Pasadena. And I was like, well, wait a minute, the Earth's moving through space, so not only would you not be here 100 years from now, you'd be floating in space 100 years from now.
But wouldn't like a time machine like take that into account? And
Well, but that's what I'm saying. This is the biggest problem of time. Like, there's a lot of reasons why time travel would be impossible to work. But one thing I feel like people don't consider is that it also needs to move through space.
that's very fair. It's like, okay, I'm going to introduce you to some people. I'll get this conversation going because that's what you struggle with. So we went up to these two girls and I was just like, hey, this is my friend Parker. He's a mute. Bye.
Oh, I forgot I walked away.
And then I kept up with it for a second because I didn't know what else to do. So I was like, I didn't know sign language.
Moses would do like everything to like help all of his roommates like meet people and like especially girls and stuff. But then randomly he would just decide to switch it and just call Parker mute.
My favorite is still, it was that same night as that campfire. We pull up and there's a car full of girls right next to us. Parker, you have to reenact it. So I was driving and I looked at him and like went like this, like unroll the window. And so they unrolled the window and Parker, so I was sitting in where Jared is.
I was excited because like, oh, what's he gonna do? What, like, I can like learn from this.
And then Parker was sitting directly behind me. And so then I unrolled his window, not mine.
And it took me more seconds. It was like, he must have made a mistake. Oh, he's still going. When is he gonna stop and roll down his window? And then instead of like doing anything rational, like, hey guys, I went to the mirror button on my side to keep it from going any lower, and then I was like, maybe they won't see me.
I think I child locked it before too, so he can roll back.
You had it all covered.
I panicked. I pretended I hid. I was like dragged.
Barry Keoghan had broken up. It sounds like Barry Keoghan had cheated on her. This means nothing to Parker. And one of our coworkers didn't remember who Sabrina Carpenter's ex-boyfriend was. They didn't remember Barry Keoghan. He goes, man, I'm just really bad with celebrities. And I go, I can bet good money. I know for a fact that Parker knows less celebrities than you. And I can bet money that Parker doesn't know who Sabrina Carpenter is. Even though we've talked about Sabrina Carpenter on this very podcast. We have.
Oh,
and I texted Parker. I'm like, hey, who's Sabrina Carpenter? And he goes, isn't that the teenage witch? And he goes, oh, no. She's the one that does the driver's license song, which was closer because Sabrina Carpenter is referencing the song. But your ability to...
So who is
I remember the first time when we were all roommates, we were playing football. We were playing catch. And I don't think you ever had thrown a football before. Like
Yeah.
you were like I haven't thrown it, but you were so mad that you couldn't throw it. And I remember being Parker. There's like, why would you be good at it right now? You've never thrown the football before.
I tried to teach him how to play basketball, and he'd get so mad.
Yeah.
The only time we ever got in a fight when we were companions was when we played board games. That was literally it. We literally stopped playing board games because we kept fighting.
We were up at 3 in the morning. Yeah.
It's just funny how you get competitive over the most random things.
Yeah. Nothing.
You're gonna eat cake? You eat the whole damn cake. Like, whoa. Okay. If you're gonna get behind that. But then he goes, if you're gonna play football, give it 100%. Don't give it 90%. Give it 100. I'm like, okay, I get that. If you're gonna eat cake, you eat the whole damn cake. I'm like, whoa. Okay. If you're gonna do drugs, you better be a freaking addict.
Did he actually?
Yes, he said that. He's like, moderation's for the weak. Do it 100% or don't do it at all. I was like, whoa. If you eat the cake, you eat the whole damn cake.
If you're gonna be a murderer, you better
kill everyone.
go on a spree.
You gotta be the Zodiac killer. Jeffrey Dahmer them.
He's passionate.
He was super passionate. I'm pretty sure he was on steroids though. Like it was like, and one time he gave us a speech too where he was talking about like you gotta give it your all, guys. Like sometimes instead of being like yelling, he was like calm. He's like, I went to the doctor and he was like, what are you doing to your body, dude? Like, what are you like? It's like, and he's like, it's just something I'm passionate about though. And I'm like, you're not like, this isn't helping us. And the biggest telltale sign that he wasn't a good weightlifting coach, we sucked at football. Like we weren't good when I was there at least. And so it was, yeah. If you guys have weightlifting stories from your high school days,